to emotional health. Now, the cool thing about emotional health is if you get this, and this right, this is a lot easier to do.
It's a no-brainer.
I would say no-brainer, but it's a little bit easier, yeah. Now, when we get these 4 things in place, what you're gonna see is this thing, your career, your longevity business explode.
Right.
And if this explodes, what's gonna happen to this? Explodes, and what's gonna happen to your lifestyle?
That also.
You're gonna have a fool like that, and what's gonna happen to the relationships in your life?
Well,
And I'm also
that
getting
I'm in.
really, yeah. So, my point is that this is, actually, these 3, you gotta get, that's why we put so much time into this morning to these 3. You gotta master these 3 and keep on elevating them every single day.
Yes.
But this one can still go sideways, as I'm sure some of you experience in life, if you don't give it enough attention. But Cheryl, you're the master of emotions. You're always, you understand the quality of your life and the quality of your emotions.
Yeah,
Now, Cheryl, is there a time you find your emotions going a little sideways?
usually only when I'm driving.
Yeah, driving is a good one for Cheryl. Does anyone else have like a hot button or a thing that's like that one thing can drive me up the wall?
But it's not my fault, Paul.
I know it's not.
It's not.
It's that stupid guy in front of you going to speed limit.
They're going under it. They're going under it with that double yellow line.
It really gets her fired up when they go 5 under.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm wondering, I'm sorry,
Tell it,
you can
Angelica.
just
Tell the truth,
pull
Angelica.
over.
They made the right lane for a reason.
Although, you know what, ask Angelica, I really do think I'm getting a little bit better because my kids are both gonna start driving, and now she says,
This is my favorite one.
Mom, what if it's someone like me in the car in front of us that's
That's right.
like just starting to drive?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, go!
Here's the interesting, this is how I know she's getting better. We remember school one morning, she's going along, and she goes, ah! And I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, kids, that is a triumph of God in me. That's the compliment. That's one step forward. Now, didn't we go downhill a little bit? Yeah, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago, when I was really focused on that.
No figures here.
Okay.
So there's, one of the first times I actually got to meet Tony Robbins in person and talk to him one-on-one. We talked about this. So, he always asks people, what are your challenges? And he wants to, fix problems. It's a big thing. So, I said, I always feel super overwhelmed. I got this business partner. She gives me all this to do. I got all this stress coming on. And he's like, so what do you do? So I'm like, I told him, I own my own business and that. And he's like, so you have all these projects to do. Who comes up with these projects? I do.
Yeah, that wouldn't be me.
And who comes up with your task list? Me. And who comes up with these deadlines? Me. So he explained this concept to me. So we all have a physical home that we live. Okay, so I live in New York. That's where my physical home is. Cheryl's physical home is right here in Virginia. So we all have a physical home. But we also all have an emotional home. So there's times where someone in front of us is driving a little too slow, or things happen. So we have things happen in our lives. But all of us go home to someplace.
Yeah.
And 99% of the time, it's one of these 4 squares. So you have to ask yourself, where do I go home to? So this was my home. I was always stressed, I was overwhelmed, and I was frustrated. But when you find a home, you will do whatever it takes to get back there and stay there. As sick as that sounds. I was finding a way to always get back there.
And I think what was interesting is kind of when you realize that like something was going on, whatever, we couldn't really figure out that it was overwhelm. Remember that? Until you're like, I'm just stressed all the time. But then when he talked to Tony, then it was more like, oh, well, I think it's the overwhelm or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. These all kind of fit together. The stress, feel overwhelmed, frustrated. Then there's, we all know people over there that it's just like, they're born with this gift to be angry all the time. And they just, but when you get in there, when you're angry, upset, and pissed off all the time, you find things to be pissed off about.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'm gonna be pissed off about things. And then it's like they literally look for those things.
Turn on the news.
Yeah.
You're not always born that way. Sometimes
No.
it's just
Oh, you're not born that way, but you pick a home.
Yeah.
Whatever happens in your life, for some reason, we all land up in one of these 4 squares.
Right.
And more times than not, it's not the green one. You know, now there's people who are this is more like pulling away. Or, you know, people that are depressed, sad, right now, what are you depressed about? I don't know.
No, that's right. You should have, it is very interesting that we get a lot of times, I don't know.
Especially.
And someone just told me, so I went in and I told the doctor or whatever, and they gave me a piece of paper and they figured out, yep, I'm depressed and now I need a drug and here we are. And it's like, well, what is it about? I don't know.
Now everyone feels super bad for these people. Oh, they're depressed.
Which is great because they like that. Maybe that's one of the things that
Yes.
keeps them in that place. It gives them, no, you're right, I completely agree, but sometimes that is something.
But now you need someone happy,
Yeah.
oh, there it is in Paul. Because that's just wrong. You know,
Yeah, happy all the
it's
time.
so backwards. Yeah, what's wrong with
What's
that?
wrong with you?
Yeah.
Smiling.
So you get the cool thing is you get to pick which of these squares you want to make your emotional home.
That's the best.
And now you're thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna pick the green one, but how in the world do I get there? So I love the saying, you know, Dr. Wallach said you can't out-supplement a bad diet, right? Well, I also say you can't out-supplement bad supplements.
Yeah, there you go.
You can't. Yeah.
Have another drink.
I swear it's just protein powder. You made it, so it's just protein powder. So Cheryl, talk to us about what we just talked about with body, mind, and spirit, why those
Right.
things matter to your emotions.
Well, if you're sick, right, if your body is sick physically, if you're physically sick, how on earth are you gonna be in the green
Super difficult
square?
to be
Happy,
emotionally
excited, joyful, right? It is so hard. And I think that sometimes we forget that, right? And so, and that's one of the main reasons why we want to help people get healthy, their body healthy. That's where we start. That's like where we start. You need 90 essential nutrients. No matter what. That is non-negotiable, right? So that's the body.
So let's spend some time on this though. So what are some things you do to get your body
Oh, yeah.
right?
So exercise.
Mhm.
Exercise would be a big one. Make sure that you're eating healthy. So the good food, bad food list that Dr. Wallach talks about. Gluten-free is a huge part of it. Let's see.
Cold plunge.
Oh, yeah. Whoever wants to do the cold plunge, you're more than welcome to. We're gonna be doing that after this. When we're done. Okay, so that,
Did you say exercise? I forgot.
yes, I said exercise. Exercise is super important.
Water is huge.
Oh, yeah, water.
Meditation.
Sleep. Meditation.
You get
Yeah,
to mind you ever so body.
Visualization. Oh.
that all goes with mine. So it's anything
So,
to do with
sleep
your
is
physical
important.
body. Yes,
Sleep is very
sleep is
important.
really
If
important.
you're tired, like say you only got 2 hours of sleep last night, it may be tough to get into a great emotional state.
Taking your supplements.
Taking your
Yeah,
supplements. gives you
90
power.
essential.
So every morning, or first of all, my body, I gotta get this triangle right, so I go to bed at a certain time every day, try to get to bed at 10 o'clock. And get good sleep, wake up, I've always got first thing I do is take my supplements. So I'm taking I got my BTT in 30 ounces of water, and I drink that immediately upon rising to flush out all the toxins that have been produced while my body was repairing all night. Then I stretch, I exercise, so I get my body right first thing in the morning. This is 5 a.m. Get into cold plunge by 6. Now I move into spirit. And everything that Annalise said was absolutely, how great was Annalise?
Oh,
So you get in a good spiritual place. So I'm reading scripture.
yeah.
I'm writing in my gratitude journal. I'm praying. I'm getting myself, all those things that she talked about, how you can get yourself in that state of gratitude. Now, if you're in a state of gratitude, you can't be angry. You can't be upset because you're grateful. It's the most powerful emotion there is gratitude. You have to lead with that. But you have to be intentional about it. Like I know you're big on the gratitude journal too, and just writing down things that you're grateful for. in your life.
Yep. And getting my kids to.
Yes. Now, so one of the big things I've done is I've given up expectations and exchanged them for gratitude.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, you find yourself being upset at somebody. It's usually because you expected something of another person, which is the formula for being frustrated in life. I'm just super grateful for everyone in my life. And then we talked about mind, all the things we talked about in mind. So we're not thinking about our past story or our present story, we're thinking about that perfect story. We're making these I am statements. So our mind is super, super solid. We're doing personal growth. I'm feeding my mind first thing in the morning. So by 9 a.m., I got this triangle done.
Yeah.
And I feel like a rock star. So now my emotional state has a shot at being halfway decent. And I have a shot at being in the green. If I don't get those three things right, things go sideways really fast. So it's very, very intentional. So Cheryl, talk to us again about those I am statements and not just feeling it, but being it.
Yeah, the I am statements are super important, and you need to make sure, and I do them twice a day now, so once in the morning and once at night. But just to have them, so it really is all about the feeling, right? So we talked a lot about that earlier, I don't think we have to go into it. But just figure out how you want to feel, and those are gonna be your I am statements.
But this is taking it one step further by not just saying I feel grateful, because feelings can come and go.
Yeah.
I am grateful.
Yeah, that's just
It's
who I am. Yeah.
I'm always happy. Now, we talked about this last night with Angelica, and so we all have rules in life. So what is your rule? Let me pick on somebody here. No, let's pick on. Let's read. What is your rule? What does it take for you to feel happy?
What does it take? I start out with gratitude. I do my scriptures in the morning. I get myself in a place of thank you, God. I start out with prayer and praise, okay? Because anything that happened yesterday, if I read the word and I would read a wisdom a day, a proverbs a day, it's like there's an answer in there for me. I don't have to start off being upset or angry, holding on to anything that happened yesterday.
Yep.
So I program myself to today's a new day. Things good are happening for me today.
So is it hard or easy for you to get happy?
Easy.
Okay. So what we want to do in our lives is we want to create a highway to the emotions we want and a dirt road to the emotions we don't want. And most of us do the exact opposite. We have a highway to anger and a dirt road to happiness. But, Cheryl and I would really follow Dr. Wayne Dyer. And he has a statement that I heard as a child, and it stuck with me my entire life. And he said that there is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. So I have no rule. Because we meet people all the time. They're always angry. Like, when I lose 100 pounds, I'll be happy when I'm making $1 million. I'll be happy when, and they have these, when I find the wife of my dreams, or the husband of my dreams. Like, well, listen, you're gonna be waiting a while. To be happy, because you gotta be happy now to get that.
Yeah.
And so many people don't get that. So it's super, super important. And again, so I'm grateful for, I think of myself, I'm grateful for everything I have in my life. I'm happy for this moment. This is where my happiness is at. And boy, am I excited about what's about to come.
Yeah, the pool party.
Keep it moving, Paul.
She's got a bathing suit on her knees with clothes.
Well, we're only a minute or two late, but
Now, the reason why Cheryl wants to be going is because this is the part that she does not like. Changing the meaning of something.
oh, please, this drives me crazy.
We talked about two things. That same thought, different meaning. Some people think it's the end.
Yep.
Some people think it's the beginning. It's the belief that they have and the meaning they're giving to it.
Yeah.
And they have two completely different emotions because of that. Life. I just asked Angelica, life is hard.
That's what I.
Now, if life is hard, what's the emotions you're gonna feel?
Right.
Stressful.
Yeah, that's.
But if life is limitless, I can do what it's limited possibility.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
All about
It
perspective.
produces the emotion I want. So we really want to go through all the things, all the thoughts we have, and change the meaning. So I asked Cheryl all the time, well, what else could that mean?
So this all sounds so fantastic. I mean, when Paul was saying, I'm like, yeah, just change the meaning. But when you're in the middle of it, and you're like, this, and you're like angry and so mad. And
Cheryl doesn't have one gun out, she has
Paul's
two.
like this. Oh, Cheryl, I have a question for you. Let's just change the meaning.
What
What's
else-
the meaning
what else
you're
could
giving
that mean,
that?
Cheryl?
What else could that mean? And I'm like, I am so happy that you live there. I would kill you. Oh my God, so anytime he starts, I'm like, ha! Okay,
Yeah.
I understand.
Don't return that right now.
I already know. I gotta change the meaning. Drives me crazy, seriously, that is one thing. That and it's all inside you.
What?
It's all inside you. Which it is!
Now, there's a meaning that you're giving to it.
That's it. Change your meaning.
It's causing that.
Yeah.
So this is just something to be aware of, you know, from taking this stock, I remember Paul saying that you can give this whatever you want.
Right.
So whatever the word is here, doesn't matter what the word is. You decide this belief and meaning you're giving to it.
Yeah.
And then that's gonna lead to the emotion you want.
So you just have to be clear, I think, on the emotion that you want to feel. Like, I always want to feel excited, right? I always want to feel excited. So what do I have to believe and what meaning do I have to give whatever situation I'm in? What is that I have to do to get that emotion that I want?
So
That's where I
every,
do it, so I kind of go backwards.
yeah, but so every single thing in my life that happens to me, I give it the exact same meaning. Take a guess at what I give the meaning, what the meaning to everything in my life is.
Wow, it's one of the lessons, you're very excited about that.
Yes?
Nope.
He's not ready. I know.
What is
He's not
it?
ready. It's a learning experience.
Everything that happens is a learning experience.
Oh.
Why? Because there's nothing more I like in life more than learning. Growing, that's who I am, I'm elevating.
Yes.
So, oh my gosh, you know, this horrible thing just happened, but you know what, it was a learning experience. That's the meaning I'm giving to it. And my emotion is excited.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm tired of learning.
Like, Paul, we didn't do it a lot of learning. But whether it's good or bad, it was a learning experience. Well, I love that. So questions control our thoughts. That's the next thing. Like, okay, well, how can I change? I don't want to think about that. How can I change my thoughts? So asking good questions is the key. And this is something that most people fail at horrifically in life. They're always asking,
Don't worry.
why is this happening to me? So the first thing, I have a belief that everything happens for me, not to me. Because everyone's asking, why is this happening to me? Why is it happening? No, it's not. It's happening for you. So asking yourself, what am I grateful for today? By asking that simple question, your mind's like Google. So what you ever type in there is what you're going to get back. So what's wrong is always there. You can type in, hey, what's wrong with the world? How many things would come up on Google? A couple billion, yeah. So type a different phrase in there and you'll get different results.
Yeah.
What do I want my future to look like? Well, that's a great thing to focus on. And then last but not least, what can I do to elevate my life 1%? I want to get a little healthier today, Cheryl. What can I do? You know, you'll think of it.
We were talking about this last night. He brought up the Google thing, and it was interesting because you said something after that. You said, you know, what if you type in the right question? So, you know, how many good things are going on in the world? How many answers do you get back? Same amount, you get 1 billion.
Yeah.
But it's unlocking that. It's asking the right questions that, you know, because it's limitless how much you can achieve and think, and so.
That's a great point.
Very good.
So everyone has a primary question that they ask themselves. So it's super important if you leave here today or while you're here today to think about what is the question I ask myself more times than not throughout the day. And then you can change that question. So my master primary question is how can I elevate my life and the lives of other people today? And I say that over and over and over. And guess what happens? I get the answer because I'm praying about that.
I like the
And God gives me.
on that.
What's that?
I like the quote you have on the AC.
What was that?
I think I know it off the
Well, Jill's bringing that up, I was thinking, what's the one question, because when we were doing all this, I was thinking, what's the one question that I always say to myself? And I was like, no. So the one thing I always say, no matter what's going on, is what on earth? That's all I say. But I never say, ask like, why does this happen to me or anything like that. I've never done that, but I always say, what on earth? But it doesn't matter because it automatically helps my brain from ever since I was young to just, to me, that means it's fine. It's all gonna work out. You're good. It's good. And so then you just move on.
Yeah, that's excellent. So one of my new things, and I don't know why this is new, but I think about it, is what have we learned?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, it really is. It's really good to think about that.
All right, so that's emotions. So now everyone grade themselves.
Yep, there's your emotions.
How good am I at managing this? Is it just happening by default? Or am I really controlling my emotions and deciding which ones I'm gonna feel and asking good questions and doing things so that I can continue to feel those emotions that I want?
And make sure that you're aware and know where you're at right now or where your home is, because I think that's really
That's why Cheryl asked that, or said that in the beginning of this.
Yeah, so make sure that you know where your home is, because that's like the baseline for your home score. It's the same exact thing, right? So we want to know.
But like literally, I'm obsessed with this. So every 4 hours throughout the day, I'm asking myself and writing it down, how do I feel right now?
Yeah.
Why? So I work through all that and I can see what set me off and I know my triggers and things. So I go back and give those things new meanings.
I only ask myself when I'm all excited and happy.
Why am I so excited?